Well, hi gang. Did you miss me? I had some of you reach out to me and ask me, did you get like censored again? Did you get banned again? Did you get a strike and taken down? Nope, nope, nope. What I did do was I unplugged. I decided to spend the Thanksgiving holiday focused on my family and being with my family. I'm at that stage in life where I'm almost an empty nester. Our youngest daughter, who's in her early 20s, still lives with us. But our other three kids live around the nation. Our daughter and son in law live in New York City. We have a son who lives in Virginia, a son who lives in Maryland. So they were all coming in for Thanksgiving. They were going to be here for about 4 days. And so I unplugged. I didn't watch any news. I did the whole family uh, Thanksgiving and spent time with them. So today, after the last vestiges of our kids headed off to the airport, I had to get myself up to speed to see, well, what's been going on. And apparently, the only thing that CNN and the rest of the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media is even remotely concerned about, with everything going on in the world where Joe Biden is not coming out and condemning China on their endless lockdowns, where literally now we are seeing just mass revolts and riots in the streets because people have been literally locked into their apartment buildings, unable to get out. A building burned down. People were killed because the fire department could not get to the building, and they tried to shoot water over other buildings to get to the building. It was on fire, and the water is falling about 5 feet short. And as people take to the streets in protest, what does the Biden White House say? We don't get involved in what people in other countries are doing. Wait, what? 60 billion plus going to the corrupt government of Ukraine, but you don't have a comment about literally millions of people now marching over human rights issues, basic freedoms like freedom of speech. You don't have anything to say about that in China. Of course not, because Hunter Biden has made money off of China that was filtered to the big guy, Joe. And after all, we have a presidential administration which is not only one of the most corrupt in history, they are certainly, when it comes to our national interest and defense, the most compromised White House in history. But of course, CNN doesn't care about that. PMSNBC doesn't care about that. No, no, no. Nay, nay, nay. What they care about is, who did Donald Trump eat Thanksgiving dinner with? So Kanye West, now known apparently as Ye, was on with Tim Pool, and everybody wants to talk about he walked out on the Tim Pool cast, which, Tim, congratulations to you. You've never gotten this much attention and buzz, and this will only build your channel. And so, good job there, Tim. Um, it's six of one, a half dozen of the other where Kanye West is concerned. Um, I didn't really even follow or pay that much attention when everybody lost it with him over his anti-Semitic rants. No, I am not a supporter of anti-Semitism, but let's be really clear. He tweeted out some things that were anti-Semitic regarding what his feelings and views are of working in the entertainment industry, and his personal interaction, and how he felt they either hurt or hindered his career. As we watched the media lose it, as we watched cancel culture kick into high gear, as Kanye lost then endorsements and was censured and removed from social media platforms. Oh, let's get something straight. He lost $1 billion. Yeah, but he still got a $500 million in the bank. He's not exactly destitute. And he will launch his own social media platform. And, on one level, though I don't necessarily agree, obviously, with what he said or the manner in which he said it, he's basically kind of sending a message that, look, I'm all done playing the game, and worrying about, political correct speech. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I got to say about it. And he will find ways to get what it is that he wants to say out there. And it's obvious people are interested in what he's got to say. But of course, the liberal media is in meltdown mode. Holly Weird is in meltdown mode. But if Kanye West had said that it was white people and just kind of left it generic like that, didn't identify a group, i.e., Jewish people, just said white people have oppressed me, have kept me down, have kept me from my full earning potential, have robbed me of my royalties, etc., etc., etc. He wouldn't be under any censorship right now. His product endorsements would have doubled. His street cred would have doubled. And we would be looking for a way to honor him as a modern, new George Floyd of, taking a stand for civil rights. The liberal hypocrisy in all of this. But nonetheless, Donald Trump apparently had invited Kanye West, now known as Ye, to dine with him for Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago. And I'm sure the invitation was given to Kanye before all of the controversy, which, let's be clear, Dave Chappelle did come to the aid of his pal. He really did. On his Saturday Night Live monologue, when Dave Chappelle said, there really are a lot of Jews in Hollywood. There really are. That was apparently something that caught the producers of Saturday Night Live a little flat-footed, because the monologue that he rehearsed was drastically different than the monologue he delivered live on national television. But Donald Trump had obviously extended the invitation to Kanye before the holiday. And, again, to Donald Trump's credit, he gave Kanye this invitation. And when the controversy started, when the backlash blew up, when the proverbial it hit the fan, Donald Trump didn't do what career politicians do. He doesn't do what, Holly Weird does. He didn't renege, withdraw the invitation. He said, come on over. Let's have some turkey. Kanye brought with him a guy by the name of Nick Furios, or however it is you say that. And again, like I told you, I unplugged over this holiday weekend and did what normal people did. I enjoyed my family. I enjoyed Thanksgiving dinner with my family. We did stuff like build jigsaw puzzles and played guitar and watched Christmas movies, which, by the way, you've got to see the new Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley. Got to see it. It's well worth the watch. So I may be off on the name here, but apparently the media has pounced because this guy is a white supremacist. He leads the white supremacist charge, and he's a Trumper, and Donald Trump had Thanksgiving dinner with him. And I mean, CNN and everybody is in complete out of their mind, over the top meltdown mode over this. Donald Trump said, I never met the guy until he showed up at my dinner table. And right away, he's lying because obviously they're in collusion plotting the white supremacist campaign that Donald Trump is going to run in 2024. They want to make this now another Charlotte. And so that's what the media is going on. That this guy is a white supremacist. And Donald Trump is a white supremacist. The white supremacist Donald Trump, who invited Kanye, that even though he's changed his name to Ye or Ye or whatever it is he calls himself now, Kanye, the last time I checked, was a man of color. We might even call him black. And I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the white supremacist handbook, maybe like page 1, paragraph 1, sentence 1, thou shalt not hang out with people of color. Kind of defeats the whole thing of we're white and we're supreme, white supremacist. So how you call Donald Trump a white supremacist when he had Kanye West at his dinner table? Kanye brought the white supremacist with him. And again, I don't know this guy. I'd never heard of this name, and I'm still not up to speed on all of this as far as who this guy is, who he hangs with, what views he represents. So I'm not giving a pass here. I'm not in any way trying to endorse or promote white supremacist views or the views of this guy and his group. I don't know who they are. And Democrats love to do this. They love to do the whole guilt by association and throw names and organizations at politicians and want you to immediately you need to condemn them. And career polished politicians like a Mitt Romney would immediately say, "Yes, I condemn them." Oh, really? You condemn the Vienna Boys Choir? Okay, well that's good to know there, Mitt. Donald Trump having been a career politician, when he was first asked about Proud Boys or this group or that group, he's like, I don't know. I've never heard of any of these people. Oh, they're a threat to democracy. They're white supremacists. Do you denounce them? He goes, well, I certainly denounce white supremacy, but I don't know these groups that you're mentioning. And so that always got Donald Trump in trouble, that he was somehow obfuscating, that he was glossing over, covering up, and hanging out with. And that's what they tried to pin, that was his base. And it was all just bull hawk. And they're trying it again. And the funny thing is, as they go after Trump for, and he tweeted out, look, listen, Kanye brought this guy to dinner. I didn't even know who he was. But I said, if he's a friend of yours, sure, pull up a chair, join us for dinner. Okay. Ever have anybody show up at your house you didn't exactly invite? Did you ever invite someone to something and they brought somebody else with them that you didn't invite? You probably, if you didn't invite them, you probably didn't know them, and you probably didn't, quote, vet them either. It's just kind of, you looked at your friend like, well, you brought him, okay. What gets me is the people that will now pounce and make a thing about this. How many decades did they hang out with Jeffrey Epstein? Harvey Weinstein? Quentin Tarantino had Harvey Weinstein fund and finance movies that he did. And Quentin Tarantino in an interview said, yeah, I had heard about things that Harvey might have been up to with women, and I should have done more. I'm sorry. But see, Tarantino will get a pass because he's a liberal. Ben Affleck and even Matt Damon, who made movies for Harvey Weinstein, will get passes because they're liberal. Now, for years, not one chance encounter at a dinner table did they meet a Harvey Weinstein. For years, they had a professional working relationship with a guy who benefited them financially. Don't tell me that for years in Hollywood, working for a guy that literally now we have hundreds and hundreds of women coming forward with all of their allegations of Harvey Weinstein's sexual proclivities and rape, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And these guys, they didn't know anything about it. Donald Trump meets a guy once. The guy sits at a dinner table at Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump is immediately condemned. He should have known everything in an instant about this person. Jeffrey Epstein, who Epsteined himself. How many politicians on both sides of the aisles were connected to this guy, making him feel like he was invincible, that nothing would ever happen to him? We have his girlfriend / madam, in jail, and, everybody's like, well, that's it. Justice has been rendered. She's in jail. Really? She want to tell us which former presidents, senators, congresspeople, judges, media personalities, even over at places like Faux Pas News, formerly known as Fox News, were frequent visitors to Pedophile Island? Tom Hanks. Nobody knew. But Donald Trump will get condemned that a guy said at his dinner table that he should have known. Okay? Again, I didn't know this guy's name. I still can't remember this guy's name. And I boned up for this little exam here today. So the media is losing it over this. They're losing it over the fact that a famous designer label used kids in very sexually provocative advertising layouts. Now, they didn't quote unquote undress the kids, but all the kids are holding teddy bears that are in different forms of S&M and bondage type of sexual attire. Teddy bears. Teddy bears. And The View weighed in on it. You know, those hags, nags, and resags over there on ABC The View with Whoopi and Sonny Holstein and Joy Not a Babe Hart. The one token conservative they have over there, which is a lie. It's just a lie. You know, her whole thing is, see, this is awful. And she didn't say it was awful that they were sexualizing children. It's awful that the far right and the Republican Party is constantly talking about that liberals are into pedophilia and are into sexualizing children, and now this photo shoot just plays into that narrative, and this is why there's hatred against drag queens, and they're being told that the drag queens are coming to indoctrinate your children, and that sexual perverts are trying to indoctrinate your children in the public schools, and this photo layout just plays into that. Maybe, honey, because it's not the photo layout that plays into it. But hey, let's use something real liberal here. Was it a Freudian slip? Or are you letting us know, hey, look, we are sexualizing your kids? Because they certainly are. They're trying to destroy purposely the innocence of children and make children think that sex is not about a husband and a wife getting together for the purpose of love and procreation and the carrying on of the traditional family unit. Sex is just an activity. It's a toy. And it can be anything, any way you want. It is a devaluing of humans, which is why we can have 97 genders, because it is a devaluing of humans, of human behavior, of what is and is not acceptable. And see, when everything is acceptable, then nothing is unacceptable, including the overreach of the government and endless lockdowns like they've got going on in China. And liberals would love to have happen here. It all does tie in together. Seemingly unrelated stories and incidents, but it all does tie in together. Because it really is, this is what fascism looks like. This is what control looks like. And it's not coming from the right, it's coming from the left. Again, Donald Trump didn't condemn this guy. He tweeted, okay, I didn't know the guy. I didn't know what he represented. I didn't know who he was. He was a guest of somebody. Kanye, when he was on the Tim Pool podcast, before he walked off the set, said, hey, look, everybody's making something out of nothing. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump did not know this guy. He was my friend. He was hanging with me. I took him there. Donald Trump said, hey, he's your friend? Go ahead, pull up a chair for him. He didn't know him. But of course, that's not going to assuage the media. And you got the dude Milo, who used to be, you know, the flaming out so-called gay voice of the right, is now claiming to be, you know, he's rehabbed and he's now hetero, but he does hate the current conservative portion of the Republican Party, and he really hates Donald Trump. And he has said repeatedly that he will do everything and anything he can to stop and take down Donald Trump. And so he's kind of got Kanye's ear, and he's supposedly Kanye's campaign manager because Kanye's running for president. He even asked Donald Trump to be his VP. So would Milo hook Kanye up with a white supremacist and then send the two of them off to Trump's house to, you know, create a thing? You tell me. You tell me. And on top of all of that, while the media fixates on Donald Trump having a white supremacist at his Thanksgiving table. And they will not condemn a fashion line for sexualizing children. What they will condemn is they played right into the Republicans' hands. That's what they're upset about. Meanwhile, you have Fauci getting ready to exit stage right, finally, maybe. And the White House keeps covering up every time he gets asked about the origin of the virus that I can't say much about here because it doesn't matter that everybody else is now talking about it openly, even here. If I say anything, I'd get a strike and disinformation and I'd get bumped. And I can't tell you how many times and how many appeals I have said, give me the timestamp. Show me exactly in the video what it was that I said that is the objection. I can never get an answer to that question. Never, never, never. But Anthony Fauci still throwing shade on the origin of, because he knows where it came from. He knows the ins and the outs of it. And I can't say any more than that or I'll get in trouble. But he even hinted on Face the Nation on Sunday that coming out of the holidays, community by community, they may have to readdress closing schools. Bum, ba-dum, bum. The whole zero COVID, just like they've got in China, where they're literally chaining people in their homes. Millions. Shanghai, 25 million people, been under lockdown since April. And is Joe Biden using any of his position as president to put some pressure on President 11, XI from China, to open up his country? Nope. The United States doesn't get involved. This is for these people. We don't get involved in that. While we benefit the military-industrial complex and we transfer wealth to the 1% in this nation under a proxy war with Russia through Ukraine. And we benefit people like Zelensky, the most financially corrupt, vile leader of any nation. It's not a fight about democracy over there. It's about money. And while this president has canceled all of the oil leases in this nation, he wants Venezuela to let Chevron in. Will benefit Venezuela financially, but this is what happens, people, when you vote Democrat. The perverts, the cover-ups, all of it. It's over there. They talk about it's over here. And that's what the media runs with. And that's what the media promotes. And that's what the media offers us as propaganda. Open your eyes and take a look where it really is. Hey, happy after Thanksgiving. I'm back.